And people better be ready.
Yeah.
We came to FUCK on stage.
Absolutely.
Live.
I don't know if I can cuss.
It's Rolling Stone.
Oh.
So
guys
we're
are
fucking
We're gonna fuck.
We're actually fucking punk rock.
Good afternoon, Muna. I'm so excited to have you guys here. Welcome to the Rolling Stone studio. You guys are our first guest in this studio space, so welcome. We're so excited to have you guys.
An honor. Thank you for having us, Maya. We appreciate it.
Gorgeous interior decoration.
Beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns. Be looking at the record collection after we film.
I'm really excited to talk to you guys. It's been like about a week or so, just over a week, that Dancing on the Wall has been out. So how does it feel and how has the fan response been? Like, just tell me about all of that.
I mean, it's always like such a relief, to be honest with you, to be done with the period of time between when you start putting out an album and then when the full thing comes out. Because we just want our fans to like have the whole thing and to be able to, like delve in and have their own interpretations of it. I think this week has been really special because we have been playing shows the whole week. We did 2 shows in LA. The first one was on album release day. And then the last 2 nights we've played in New York, we're doing like a run of shows at the Music Hall of Williamsburg, which we've heard is closing.
Yeah,
the venue is
closes at the
closing.
end of the
It's
year.
so
Very
devastating. But yeah, we're doing the third of 4 shows tonight. And it's been nice because it's like we're just with the fans and they've already, the New Yorkers, they had like 1 week and they've already like learned
They have it top to bottom.
It's so amazing.
They've been streaming.
Yeah, so we're really lucky.
We thank them for their streams.
We thank them for their streams.
Streams and studying.
Yeah.
They're
Homework,
studying.
literally.
They're writing this down.
Right. I don't know how they did it.
Flashcards or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about those shows. Like, I've been seeing clips. It seems like there's such high energy both in the LA and New York shows. What's kind of been like maybe the most surprising thing to come out of the shows?
I guess how fast they can learn.
Yeah, literally.
They really cared to be singing with us. I feel like more than anything.
Yeah.
They've learned the lyrics in like a day.
I think maybe it's not like there's that much that I felt like surprised by because we know that our fans are really wonderful. But I think we maybe went in, it's quite nerve-wracking to like we did maybe 10 days of rehearsal, but to like go in off bat with like and play an album top to bottom, like I think we were kind of like, are we gonna be feeling really rusty? And I think it was surprising how it felt like such a like homecoming, and I think we were like just relieved. We were like, oh yeah, this is what we fucking love to do.
Also, the types of shows that we played in LA and in New York are like so
They're really different.
Really different.
Yeah.
The LA shows is more sort of in line with the type of production and size of venue we'll be playing on the fall tour. And this is like the first time
show.
in a long time we've played small club shows, and it
so
is
fun.
really fun.
Yeah. It's almost like going back to your roots or like the beginning.
Totally.
And everybody who's there, like, we appreciate that. I mean, they really tried to get tickets, and so the people who were there are such like diehard Muna fans that it does just feel like a return to like coming home and like seeing everybody. Like, we know a lot of those guys, and so we get to reconvene and sing together.
Yeah, some people it's like you're seeing them and you're
I'm like,
we've been seeing you for the past 10 years.
Yeah, literally.
You like went to law school in the time that
Yeah,
you graduated
literally,
high school,
literally.
went to college, and now you're in law school.
Yeah.
We've seen
I'm
you all
surprised
day.
we haven't like smacked each other with our instruments.
Why would
and-
you? Why would
I
you
know.
say that?
Because you think I'm like cursing it?
I
Yeah,
literally
don't say
last
it.
night I was thinking that in my head. I was like,
I stepped
can't
on Josette
believe
last
it.
night.
yeah. I was trying to get up on you.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
that's why.
smacked
First time
my head on the floor on night 1.
Yeah.
It's
could
dangerous,
happen, yeah.
because we're used to more space at this point. So
I
I
know.
can't twirl. If I'm twirling, I'm
Yeah. The dance
Compact,
moves that we
yeah.
have adapted are more expansive than a club show allows for.
Well, speaking of the Get So Hot tour is going to be in the fall, correct?
Absolutely.
It is like one of your first tours that you're embarking on since opening during the Eras tour, which was like such a big, massive like spectacle. I'm interested, like, what's maybe the biggest thing that you learned from that experience that you want to bring on to the Get So Hot tour?
It's interesting. Like, I think we experienced that period of time as such a like hysterical anomaly and like glitch in the timeline of our lives. like us being on that stage, we were like, this is nuts. Just because the scale of the shows is so massive.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I think one thing, if I had to say something, it's like we're going to try to incorporate as much of our music that people love as possible as time allows. Certainly we won't be doing a marathon 3-hour long
we don't have
show.
what Taylor has.
We don't have it
that
in
many
us.
bangers. But I do think what it makes me think about, like, it's a good question. I think there is something really interesting about how that was such a huge production, and yet like she makes an effort to give people each night like something special and intimate.
Yeah.
And I do think that that's like, I think we can sometimes struggle with that because we're all such perfectionists in terms of like arrangements of songs. Like Taylor, I really respect the way that she'll just like, and it speaks also to her comfortability with her instruments, where like if she knows that people want to hear a certain song, like she'll pull it out and just like give the people what they want.
Yeah.
And I think
do that more.
Yeah, I think we want to try and do that more. I think we get scared about doing it badly, but we're like lucky now to be at the point in our career where it's like we can't play all the songs that people love, but I want to try to be like paying attention to if there's like someone there that night that like really wants to hear a certain song from our discography. Like I think that'd be fun to try and make it work.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some deep cuts.
I hope so.
We'll try to toss in a couple.
I hope so.
And then you guys were just announced as headliners at All Things Go. You're going to be going back as headliners.
Cowabunga.
Tell me about that and like what you're excited to bring back.
We love All Things Go.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
awesome.
We feel like because we came up with the name, we started calling All Things Go Lesbopalooza because of the style of artists. That was us.
We should have trademarked that.
That was us.
We should have trademarked
We can't trademark it because the truth is, I found it in an old article that was like
about
shitty
Lilith
things
Fair?
people said about Lilith Fair, and I was like,
Okay.
we need to make a festival called Lesbopalooza because that's awesome.
Yeah.
That was just some horrible thing that some is trying to.
Horrible or awesome?
I have
Well,
ideas
awesome
about
for us.
actually like several things that we possibly were the first ones to say, but
But we did.
I'm not gonna
That
say
was
it.
us, and
Yeah.
you can fact check that.
That sounds right. That
Yeah.
sounds right.
So we're bringing it back, And
yeah.
thank you for the trust and they've built us up over the years to headliners. So
is this the first time we've like technically headlined a festival or no? Can't be.
Don't
Didn't we
know.
I think do it already there?
2024, you guys headlined?
Is that
Did
where
All
we
Things
headliners?
Go?
Yeah.
Did we
but it's
headline?
cute
I don't
it's
know that we
festival.
did.
Yeah.
We closed the stage.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know how it works other than that.
Yeah, totally.
Knowledge people
Oh,
comment
that
whether
was
or not
the
that's
year.
true.
That was the year of like the Boy Genius run.
And we were meeting like some
Yeah.
people backstage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Who
it'll
knows?
be fun.
Oh, it was a co-headline last time?
It was
Okay,
co-headline.
cool.
Management
This is our
confirmed.
first solo dolo headline.
Things are
So how does
crazy.
that feel? Does it feel different?
I'm like, do I feel anything?
It feels right. It feels right that it's
Yeah.
that festival.
For sure.
Yeah, 100%.
That's really the one at this point in time that feels
people better be
correct,
ready.
Yeah,
We came to FUCK on stage.
absolutely.
so. Live.
I don't know if I can cuss here.
Are we allowed to?
Don't look at me.
It's Rolling Stone.
Oh,
So
guys
we're
are
fucking
punk
cool.
we're gonna fuck.
We're actually fucking punk rock.
Holy fucking shit.
Anyway.
No, that's so fun, and I'm really excited to see how the live shows are gonna like even expand more based off what I've seen so far in these shows.
Yeah, we have so much pyrotechnics.
Can you imagine?
Oh.
Our lighting guy
No,
is trying to sell us on pyro. He's like, would be really cool with fire.
Are you serious?
Yes, he pulled me aside
No.
during rehearsal. I was like, we don't have that
We
kind of
can't
fire
afford
budget yet.
fire. I'm sorry
Also,
that I said
okay,
that.
That
do you get
depends on you, my friend.
Yeah.
The streamers.
How much? How much are you gonna stream?
Yeah.
to bring the fire, literally.
Yeah, to bring the
Scary.
Would you be like scared of pyrotechnics?
I feel like
A
the pyro
little.
kind of always goes off at like just after when it should. Do you know what I mean? Like the timing kind of is
I'd
always
love
a
to
little
keep
off,
my
which is funny.
eyebrows and my hair
Yeah.
Totally.
I think that's
and my skin.
I think I would like it. I think I would like it if I
it
could
could
have
be.
it.
I feel like if we had it, we'd get into
I
it.
saw
probably
recently,
get
have
horny
you seen that Demi Lovato has pyrotechnics on screens? Like
Wait,
it's like
what? Is
yes.
it fake?
it's like fake pyrotechnics
see-
like on her LED
Well, that's a
screen.
I
hack.
need to see a video.
Yeah, it like looks really cool in certain videos and
I
then it
have
looks
seen
really funny in other videos.
Yeah.
But
like
that's
it.
an option.
That's
That
a
is an
tour
option.
hack.
Okay.
I
It's the
think
middle of the road.
If anything, honestly, in an ideal world, we would actually have we would be suited under our clothes, like we had bungee suits.
Oh, it's flying
So
through
we
the
could,
audience.
so we could fly through the audience,
Can
and
you
also
imagine
like
if
a
just-
super jump.
Imagine if it was just Josette that did that.
That would be amazing.
That checks out. That'd be
Need
awesome.
that to happen the next tour,
Yeah,
please.
That's up to the streamers, as always.
Yes, you guys,
I could easily see becoming addicted to like I could
like
easily see
Pink.
going down Pink's road.
It's literally that's.
It's like I
literally-
Calling
understand
it Pink's
completely
Road.
what happened to
I'm
her.
like, imagine wait.
Pink's road into the
Exactly.
sky.
Like-
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, totally. I completely can imagine.
So much
The
fun.
only thing,
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Our whole lives are just gonna work through coming up through the platform.
Yeah, as soon
That's
as we come
really.
up through the platform.
Then we'll know that the streamers have done their job.
Yeah. The day we come up is when we come up.
Period.
I love that. I love that.
Wow.
Well, it makes
Think about that. Roll that up and smoke it.
it makes sense that we're talking about so much like fire and heat and all of these high production elements to bring to the show because of the album.
Perfect.
And the perfect little segue into
Whoa,
that.
that's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Professionalism.
It's giving
We're
associate
all
editor.
so-
Take notes.
So it's been 4 years though. Like this album, not only did you guys come back like really hot with it, literally,
Thank you.
and figuratively, but it's also been 4 years. There's been a lot of time. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested to hear like what's that time been like, you know, to be able to then come like out with this heat.
Katie, in the interim period, released a solo album.
I did do that.
Which is an excellent album for those who haven't heard it. What a relief. It's out now. Go buy it on vinyl. The streamers.
Yeah, buy it on vinyl.
A lot of notes for the streamers.
You
today.
can.
No, buy it on vinyl. Don't
Yeah.
even.
It's nice.
And I think for us putting out, you know, us being the cheerleaders of Katie putting out her solo album also helped pull into focus like what the Muna sound really is at its core. Like from the beginning of the band, we've always been about making, you know, like just very emotional, melodramatic synth pop with a lot of like energy and charge and I don't know what other descriptors one could use off the top of their head when they're as
Dark
tired as I am. But
You're doing good.
but yeah, I think that pulled the sound into focus, and we went back to listening to a lot of the stuff that was inspiring us when we first started out as a band. We've been saying this a lot recently, but it is true. So a lot of new wave and early synth pop, and also I think there's a sort of parallel to that era of music and the politics that surrounded that era of music and what we're experiencing now with regards to sort of a very like powerful right-wing resurgence that I think mirrors that era in a way. So I think there are a lot of parallels that we were inspired by. And so, yeah, I think that. And then also the idea of making a very like high energy dance album as a sort of antidote to all of that or something.
It's also funny. Like I do think it's.
something.
Sorry.
I wonder if Rolling Stone has ever done like a kind of like retrospective analysis of like
They should.
you know, like the time it takes for bands to make albums and like the time between albums
Totally.
and because I do think it's funny, like a lot of other artists I know, like to them, like 4 years, irrespective of if other people are putting out other projects in the interim, like it's not that much time. Like I think it's a lot of time in this culture, like
In the era of content.
to the point where it's like actually seen as like a big risk for people. They're like, well, aren't you worried people are going to forget about you? And I think that we are in a position of tremendous privilege where it's like we have fans that are really patient with us and want us to like feel really confident about what the album that we have before we put it out. But yeah, I also think that there is a culture of like things just happening so fast, and it's for a bunch of different reasons, but it's like we're not in that much control at the end of the day, especially because of like how much we do creatively in-house. Like we're writing our songs and we're producing our songs, so it's like if the muses are with us and we like are able to make a full album that we are happy with, like within a year, that would be fucking amazing. That's never happened to us. Like I just think it takes sometimes like we get frustrated, but it's like it takes the amount of time that it takes.
Yeah. And then if you did a year, right? If you just waited a year, then some people would be like, "That's too soon."
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Or they get tired of
do
you.
anything right.
They say it's time for you to go away for a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Literally.
I think I'm just also more interested, like 4 years in a person's life, though, a lot can
Totally.
happen.
Sure.
So like those experiences, especially like Katie, I know like your solo album. I'm interested how that influenced, like working on the solo album was able to influence this album.
Yeah, I think it made me feel more experimental. I think like there was an energy like when we started the project where it was like our roles were all a little bit more loosely defined in some ways because we were like all learning new skills. And I think when I went to work on the solo project, it was like I picked back up an instrument from my childhood. I like relearned how to play the fiddle, and like that might not seem relevant at all to like the synth-pop record that we just put out, but I think that there was this attitude of like, well, just try something. Just like, you know, just if you're curious about it, just like follow the lead. And there's like certain songs on this album, like Why Do I Get a Good Feeling was like me experimenting with a like string part that Naomi had made and like making my own like drum and bass track over it and like and writing over that. And it was like I was just like feeling more like just like try stuff, just throw something like against the wall, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. In terms of like our life, what did we all do in this interim? We all turned 30.
Yeah.
It's a
Like
big milestone.
since the last time we put an album out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we all, like it's like there's a sense of like you know, we've all like grown up a lot since we've been in the band. So it's like learning how to take care of yourself in different ways. I went on medication, like I went on psychiatric medication after when we were putting out our last album.
Okay.
So this is my first album that I've written on Prozac. So
Which is kind of funny.
yeah, I think it is funny. It's like I think some people are clocking like it's just not as like deeply sad as I'm used to with Muna, and I was like that might just be like the
People
meds.
are actually
honey.
I'm
saying
maybe
that?
less deeply sad.
People are actually saying that.
Some people are. I mean, like, I think I'm particularly sensitive to hearing that because there's such a
Whatever.
cultural stigma of like, if I'm on meds as an artist, like I won't.
They can suck it.
I mean, it's like at the end of the day, like, I like it.
I was gonna say
yeah.
I've seen comments of people being like, "This is like medicated. This is Muna medicated, and we like it."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because it's like processing stuff and like
a
emotions.
healthier
Yeah,
way.
you're
It's not-
right.
it's not-
We
Yeah.
are
It's not
still
sad.
very sad.
We're still
Yeah.
very sad.
I think it's still very like dance floor anthem, but also like you're crying on the dance floor.
There's literally a song called Buzz Killer.
People
like,
get mad confused by just the sounds of what
Yeah.
music.
The
is.
sounds of
The sounds
music.
of music.
Has anyone ever thought about that? The sounds.
The sounds of music. That's
The
there's a
tears.
ring
Wait,
to it.
what is it? Wait. Never mind.
The tears. Fears.
I think it's interesting you brought up oh my God, what was the song you brought up? Why
do I get a good feeling?
Why do I
Because
give a
that's my
fuck?
favorite one.
Really?
Yeah.
Period.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is my favorite one. Do you guys have a favorite on the record? I'm sure it's ever changing.
It changes.
It changes.
I feel like you love So What.
I love So What, but you know what? I've really been I have been loving It Gets So Hot so much.
It's
like
really
in
cool.
terms of like there's
Just
also just
love
a
it.
different experience of like playing and listening, like for us, because it's like the creative process just changes completely. And then also it's like once we start playing songs, the fans make it a different experience for us, and that's like always the coolest thing to see. You're like, oh, I didn't realize like how much this moment in the show like could mean to somebody. So I think we're also still like kind of discovering like what our new favorites are, because the fans are kind of teaching us.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
As we get
I think
into
the
playing
fans are
shows.
really liking Mary Jane a lot.
Mary,
I
well,
love
Ma-
that
Mary
one.
Jane's my one because it's like it reminds me of Crying on the Bathroom Floor, but it's when we went on tour with Phoebe years ago, her drummer Marshall described us as the band who would play on Mount Olympus, like and I feel like
It's
that
really
song,
funny.
That song carries that energy where we're like placing,
Lightning rod?
yeah, we
Yeah.
have lightning rods, and it feels like that powerful.
Totally.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
it's
that
like
feels amazing
it's
live.
like kitsch and corny, but
I don't give I don't get
fully committed and selling you on
That's
the bit
who. That's who.
of being Hermes or whatever.
Like if you really listen to some of our music, we are kitchen corny.
I know, totally.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think we can
everyone
be
can
real nerds in that way. Like one of my favorites on the record is a song called On Call, and it's like it has like kind of like nerdy key changes in
Totally.
it. But I just love when we can be like master manipulators of human emotion in that way. Like
Interesting album title for our next one.
master manipulators of human emotion. Moon
It's
of
all of
Five.
us in like
I feel like-
caps.
You guys have like brought up like
Yeah.
3 different new album titles.
There's
There's something about this
No,
room, this space.
But no one get excited.
It's the energy of the new space.
Yeah, it's a new space.
I will say that I kind of often have like a slight manic episode when albums come out
Well,
where I'm
totally.
like, and we are going to put out another album 6 months from now. And it's like, no, we're not.
I'm
Katie.
writing
But
it
it's
tonight.
Like, yeah, I just like, I don't know why. It's some type of coping. It's some type of defense mechanism.
No, these songs are seeing the sun. Or I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, you're very good at being like,
Or I'm gonna have
what
to
we
start
did
doing
is
some
enough.
crazy things.
Oh.
I love a
There's
failed
something.
threat.
It's like, what can we do, Josette, that we haven't already done? You know what I mean? Like, we're
What?
humping on stage. Like, we're doing our best.
Full
to-
nude XXX.
XXX.
Unfortunately,
I like it.
Isn't it? I wanna.
Do you guys find that like being on the road and performing does inspire you to like start writing music, or is
Totally.
that
Yeah.
super separate? Okay,
I mean,
so it does.
I think this
Definitely.
record, in the sense of its BPMs, is 100% influenced by the level of touring that we did last year, or not last year, 4 years.
Last year, which
Like
was
2
for us.
years ago?
Yeah, like 2
3
years.
years ago?
You really do notice. I'm like,
Yeah.
we want the shows to feel a certain way. We want there to be like a certain level of catharsis.
We get bored.
Yeah, and we get bored, but also I'm like, we want Muna shows to be a place where you work it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, you
come
work
and
out
dance.
whatever you're feeling, and fast music gets you going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're not full like, the fastest is Why Do I Get a Good Feeling?
yeah.
So that's about the top end of our range.
Well, that
but
song is
it's like 172.
it's
or
as fast
something.
as fast
very
can
fast.
be. Yeah.
it really like fits to like an anxious thought or
Totally.
just
Yeah,
time.
totally.
Like, it's really good at that.
Totally.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I also
Nailed it.
I'm curious too, like, since I know the 4 years, but it's not just been 4 years. The last record, we had Silk Chiffon. It was such a huge moment. Was there an element of like fear or, trying to live up to that at all? Or was that anywhere in your brain?
I think like you can't help but react against what you've previously worked on if you've had whether you've had success or not. I think you're always, as a creative, like responding to whatever you did before to some extent. And I think with Silk there of course is fear of like, oh, like this has been happening to us since the beginning of our career. We're always like, what if this is the best moment of our lives and then everything else after this sucks? Like that has been, since we toured with Harry Styles, we were like, what if this is the peak? And you never know. And we kind of have to accept that. But what we are in control of is making music that we think is good. Yeah. I think it would have been a very fear-based scarcity mentality thing to do, to try to recreate Silk Chiffon another 11 times and see like which one sticks. Yeah. Like for us, I think, we are a little bit more kind of stubbornly committed to the creative act as such.
So we live in fear every day.
And just trying to make something that we think is good, because then at the very least we can go to bed at night knowing, well, we made something we thought was good. So
definitely.
It's funny though, like I went and saw the Indigo Girls in concert before we came to New York, and Emily from the Indigo Girls was like, why did you write those lyrics in Buzzkiller where you say like the band's doing well but I'm past my prime and everyone knows it? She was like, what the hell? And
if that isn't the realest thing of all time.
It's really humbling also, like talking to a musician, like she's in her 60s and I'm 33. And so that was humbling in terms of being like, I really have a brain worm if I think that like I'm too old to be doing this. And
it's
like
not you,
realistically, it's culture.
Yeah.
But it made me actually realize that I do think in some ways like that lyric is kind of about Silk Chiffon. Because it's like, I think I was contending with like, okay, well that was a peak. Like there's no way like that you get so lucky to even have that happen once. Like there's no way that I'll be able to achieve that again, you know? But yeah, I mean, I think we're also, as a band, we kind of constantly like, I could say it was more graceful than this, but I think we kind of constantly flounder between like this kind of, like pure artistic, like insistence on doing what we feel is right for us and like what we feel we really love and we're drawn to. And this kind of like utilitarian like sense of purpose that we have as a band of like, we want to serve the people who love us and like give us their energy. And if they love something, like, of course I want to give them more of that. Yeah. But also like at the end of the day, it's like creativity is this hugely mysterious process. So it's like, I don't think we like really will understand like in how we were reacting to the Silk of it all until like years down the road.
But it's for what service though? You know what I mean? Like you're talking about fan service as opposed to like
making more
service
money.
of capital.
Yeah, we're not gonna Adam Levine you guys. So
sorry, but also yes.
Not sorry.
I love how much you do not give a flying.
I don't care.
I think one of my last questions too is also just about you know, that last album was, I think you guys have said it's about queer joy, and this one's more about queer rage. And I kind of wanted to talk about like why that was the focus. I think it feels a little obvious, like, but hearing from you,
that? Yeah, what's going on?
I think
what's going on for you guys?
Yeah. I think of course the music still sounds like quite joyful and celebratory and ecstatic. We can't avoid that. That's just who we are and what we like to make. But I think we, in the past 4 years, like have since, I mean, just to be fully real, like since the beginning of the genocide in Gaza and then Trump's election and the ICE raids and cracking down on trans people's rights to exist and, you know, bodily autonomy for women and just all types of horrible stuff has been happening. And it felt really it would be really weird to make another song that's like, fuck yeah, it's time to have a good summer. Everybody get up and clap your hands. Like, you know, like that was, I think even there was like a, there is like a kind of like in Silk Chiffon, there is like, the joy is like manic and a little bit like delusional, but
we wrote it in the pandemic.
Yeah, totally. Like trying to grasp at the joy. The joy's been a little harder to come by the past couple of years. So I think, that was like, it just felt a little bit, it just was like, it wasn't even possible to do too much too much of an extreme emphasis on the proliferation of joy. Although I do think we are very good at like bringing joy to people via the music. So it's not to negate that whatsoever. It's more just like from our personal experiences of living the past couple of years.
Yeah, and I feel like those two things also, it's not like one doesn't negate each other. They both coexist and feed on each other. If we were to just give you a capitalism pill and like try to feed you an advertisement, like it doesn't take away your rage. Like the rage needs to be felt and needs to be expressed because like we're all feeling this. Like what is going on globally is something that like we want our fans to know, because I think the thing that is so crazy about like media at this time, so much is happening, and also there's just like not an acknowledgement that so much is happening, but like we are experiencing it. And like we are there with you, you know?
Yeah, and it's almost like it's not like we like had this overarching like thesis that we then went and tried to write songs that matched it. Like the songs are just a natural extension of like what we are thinking about and talking about and experiencing, and so that's just like what happened, you know? We didn't like exactly plan it that way.
I think we're also aware, and we were aware at the time, like of the ways in which this kind of idea of queer joy can get very filtered down into this like we were chafing at it being like so commodified. It can be commodified, and then it's like queer joy, like as a completely depoliticized, like what? Just feel joy, thing. Like it just is. That's not what we were talking about. Obviously,
I think it was like we had to like in a way express the queer rage so that we can like keep the flame alive of like the sacred thing that queer joy like really means to us.
Yeah, the joy is actually something that can be radical.
Yeah. And you said secret flame again, so it's like back to the fire. It all
everything's on fire.
Thank you guys so much for being our first guests. It was wonderful to have you guys.